Version 6.4 is shaping up to be quite the exciting patch. We've got one brand new release in Varka alongside reruns for Flins, Skirk and Escoffier. As always, this video isn't about telling you who to pull, it's about breaking down what each character actually does for your account so you can make the call that fits your roster. So today we'll go through every unit in 6.4, discussing what they offer, where they shine, and most importantly, who's worth your pulls and who you can comfortably skip. Varka is an on-field Anemo DPS who deals sustained damage by mixing Anemo attacks with a secondary element based on his team. What makes Varka interesting is his flexibility. He's an Anemo carry who adapts his damage type depending on which elements you pair him with, rather than being locked into a single reaction archetype. He excels at smooth sustained on-field damage with a playstyle that feels consistent and reliable instead of relying on short burst windows. His unique value is that he functions as a dual element DPS, dealing Anemo damage while simultaneously adding Pyro, Hydro, Electro or Cryo into his attacks based on team composition. This lets him slot into multiple elemental cores instead of forcing you into one rigid setup. Because of that, Varka's value depends heavily on his teammates. Venti is a standout partner, providing grouping, energy generation, and additional value as an Anemo Hexerai unit. Jurin is a key off-field pyro option, supplying consistent elemental damage to pair with Varka's Anemo output. Bennett offers straightforward attack buffs and healing, keeping Varka stable during extended field time. And Furina supplies Hydro application alongside massive damage amplification. At C0, Varka is best for players who want a flexible Anemo DPS and already own strong Hexerai or Mondstadt supports like Venti or Jurin. You can skip him if you dislike team building constraints, since he performs best when built around specific elemental cores rather than as a pure plug-and-play carry. Overall, he's a solid and complete on-field DPS, but his ceiling depends heavily on how invested your supporting cast is. His C1 is a quality of life upgrade that smooths out rotations and improves damage consistency, but it's not required for him to function. His signature weapon is a strong damage focused option, best reserved for players looking to push Varka's personal ceiling. Flins is an on-field electro DPS designed around lunar charge teams, dealing high damage through frequent reaction focused bursts. Flins' damage revolves around a powerful AoE burst, hitting hard in short repeatable windows rather than long sustained combos. He's also very comfortable to play at C0 with built-in interruption resistance that makes his rotations forgiving and consistent. His unique value is that he is the core enabler of lunar charge teams, transforming standard electro charge reactions into their far stronger lunar variant, something no other electro DPS can currently replicate. Because of this, Flins' best teams are very clearly defined. Inefa is his most important partner, providing shielding, energy comfort and a massive boost to lunar charge damage. Columbina supplies Hydro application while directly amplifying lunar charge reactions, significantly raising his damage ceiling. Aino works as a more accessible Nordcry option if you don't have Inefa. Fischl adds reliable off-field electro damage and helps stabilize energy needs, and Sucrose provides grouping and elemental mastery buffs to further scale lunar charge damage. At C0, Flins is best for players who want to invest into lunar charge teams and already own or plan to pull key supports like Columbina or Inefa. You should skip him if you prefer flexible electro DPS units that function well across many different team archetypes. Overall, Flins is a high impact specialist with an excellent damage ceiling in his niche, but far less flexibility outside of it. His C1 greatly smooths out rotations and improves overall consistency, while his signature weapon is a large personal DPS increase, mainly for players committed to pushing his lunar charge damage further. Skirk is a cryo hypercarry built around freeze teams, delivering extremely high personal damage in both sustained and burst focused playstyles. Skirk brings top tier personal DPS, performing equally well in long on-field combos and short burst windows. Her damage uptime is extremely consistent, thanks to a simple uninterrupted attack flow that's easy to execute. Her unique value is that she grants the entire party a free +1 elemental skill level when paired with at least one Hydro and one Cryo teammate, a deceptively powerful bonus that directly boosts team output. Skirk's teams are very focused but extremely strong. Escoffier is her best partner, providing powerful Cryo and Hydro resistant shred, healing and void rift generation. Furina enables consistent freeze while supplying massive damage buffs. Shenna directly boosts Skirk's raw Cryo damage ceiling. Yalan adds strong off-field Hydro damage with ramping buffs. And Mona is the go-to option for burst nuke setups thanks to Omen and Thrilling Tales. At C0, Skirk is best for players who want a straightforward high damage cryo carry and already have strong Hydro or Cryo supports like Furina or Escoffier. You should skip her if you're looking for a flexible DPS that slots into many different reaction teams, since she's effectively locked to Hydro Cryo compositions. Power-wise, she's one of the strongest Cryo DPS units currently available, but only when her strict team requirements are met. Her C1 adds extra instances of Cryo damage during her normal rotation, resulting in a noticeable DPS increase. On the other hand, her signature weapon is a huge personal upgrade with high crit and a powerful state-based damage bonus. Escoffier is a Cryo support and sub DPS designed to supercharge freeze teams through resistance shred, off-field Cryo damage and party-wide healing. She provides strong consistent off-field Cryo application, making freeze uptime extremely easy to maintain. Her elemental burst heals the entire party while dealing Cryo damage, adding valuable sustain without sacrificing offense. Her unique value is her Ascension passive, which massively reduces enemy Cryo and Hydro resistance in freeze teams, dramatically boosting damage for both Cryo and Hydro DPS units. Because of that, Escoffier slots perfectly into high-end freeze teams. Furina is her best Hydro partner thanks to freeze uptime and fanfare synergy with Escoffier's healing. Skirk is the premier Cryo DPS who fully capitalizes on her resistance shred. Nuvolette benefits heavily from Cryo and Hydro resistance reduction as well, while Ayaka and Wriothesley gain a huge boost from a reliable freeze uptime. And Shenna stacks cleanly with Escoffier to push Cryo damage even higher. At C0, Escoffier is best for players who want a premium freeze support that both heals and massively amplifies Cryo and Hydro damage. You can skip her if you don't plan to run freeze focused teams or lack strong Cryo and Hydro units to take advantage of her kit. Overall, she elevates freeze teams to elite status, acting as a true linchpin for both damage and survivability. The C1 greatly amplifies team damage by adding a sizable Cryo crit damage boost in freeze teams, while her signature weapon offers strong crit scaling and additional buffs, improving both her support value and sub DPS output. And that's everything for version 6.4. Hopefully this gave you a clearer picture of what each character brings, not just in isolation but in terms of how they fit into an actual account. At the end of the day, it's still your primogems, so pull whoever makes sense for you. If the video helped, consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments who you're pulling for in 6.4 and why. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.